All right, here at Toyota Center with Jonathan Feigen, who covers the Rockets and the NBA for the Houston Chronicle. Almost to the quarter pole of the season. What have you learned about the NBA thus far?
Now, first of all, Reed Lamance would smack you for calling this the quarter pole.
I'm sorry. Almost a quarter into the season.
Right.
I always catch that in my when I edit my own writing. I catch it. But sometimes I
thoroughly enjoyed that you did that. Well, what we've seen about the Rockets is they have potential. Their defense can become good enough to be a very good team, but it's not there yet because it's not consistent enough. And the other thing is their rotation is thin. And so when you lose guys, I mean, that's going to happen when you got the second and third highest paid player in the NBA. Right. You've got two other guys making some pretty good money. They are counting on a bunch of minimum contract guys. You'd start pulling 2 out, 3 out at a time, you get thin very quick.
And theoretically,
that's one thing we've seen.
Theoretically, that won't matter in the playoffs necessarily, but it certainly matters for this 82-game stretch of where you fit into the seeding for playoffs.
Well, things like
injuries, etc.
Right, and Daniel House being sick. Okay, that's not going to last. No. Some of the things that Fawley took in New Orleans, running into a guy in Denver, into Jokic in Denver. Okay, that's missing a game, missing 2. But the Rockets going against the Hawks. It'll be 5 straight days with a different starting lineup. So you don't get the cohesiveness and the chemistry that maybe you want. And it is a reminder, they sort of need, Daniel House is very important. Maybe he shouldn't be, but he is.
On this team, he
Eric
has to be.
Gordon's, the absence of Eric Gordon, just as we saw when he was playing and struggling, he is hugely important. They need pretty much everybody in their rotation. That's a tough way to go through a whole season.
Now, the NBA, the words leaked out about the proposed changes. I definitely want to get your take on that. We've seen what James Harden had to say about it.
I thought it was a good point.
I get some of those players will be thinking along those lines. Is this college ball? What are your general thoughts on the?
Well, I kind of agree. If the players don't really value an in-season tournament, what's the point? That sounds like a good time for load management, unless the NBA finds a way to incentivize it to where, they're playing. If they do that, all right, like first round bye.
Winning team gets $500,000 a man.
I don't know if they
that
can
would incentivize.
That, but how about first round bye? Not that I've heard that, other than I'm trying to think of something. On the other hand, I do like the play-in idea.
Oh, I love the play-in idea. That's long overdue anyway.
Right, it keeps teams in. It discourages tanking for lottery. Hey, you can get in the playoffs. You get in that little group. Or be in that group, and I've heard people say, well, but then some team gets hot, they take the 8th seed and get smashed in the first round, as opposed to the current 8th seed. If anything, a team that got hot enough to get in might be better.
Might have a better shot at it, exactly.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, no doubt. But the in-season tournament just seems like a bit of overkill, and that it's an idea that you're trying to make fans excited about something that doesn't exist, but how can they get excited about it? If like you said, the players don't seem to care, and the coaches are certainly going to be like, we're not going to kill ourselves to win this
I'm not going to hurt my goal for something that's not my goal unless you find some way. And the whole load management thing, it gets a ton of attention when a Kawhi Leonard sits out a national TV game. But there's a lot of games in the NBA season in which a lot of players on a lot of teams are not sitting out.
Right.
So the high-profile guy takes all the attention away from the other 14 on the other 27 teams or 28 teams that aren't having their superstar sit out just for rest.
Yeah, and any more than that, the specifics of it, especially in a league that's so analytically driven, Kawhi Leonard's load management is not affecting NBA television ratings across the board. It may affect that game, but even that is...
I thought Mike Cribbin, I'm not an expert on TV ratings, but he had a good point that all of their games are on cable and people are cutting the cord. Mm-hmm. And so it's not like the NFL where they're on networks.
Right.
And a lot of the cord cutters don't get packages where you can get a lot of the NBA games.
Give us a quick 30 seconds here on what the Rockets have coming up the next couple of weeks.
They go to San Antonio, and then, of course, when you have a road trip to San Antonio, you just do that little quick hop to Toronto and back.
Right down the street.
And that should be fun.
That's the wrong border.
That's right. The NBA just really needs to invest in a map, because it's not like, okay, you fly all the way to Toronto. That happens in the NBA. Everybody does it. How about while you're there,
Work your
you
way back
pick up
through New
Detroit,
York and
Cleveland,
Detroit,
New York,
right.
Boston, somewhere. No, they fly all the way back to Houston. And so, but it'll be fun to go see them against Toronto, who's playing very well.
Extremely well.
And they play like a championship team, and they've been doing it with Kyle Lowry and Serge Ibaka out. And so that's a good team, and the Rockets need some games against the really good teams, especially if Clint Capella and Daniel House are back.